Well, howdy, Eric. How's it going, man?
Hey, it's going great, man. It's going great.
Yeah,
Always
you know
fun
what?
talking travel.
That's right, man. And you know what? And I'm just going to start right off the bat. You are a hoot to travel with, man. I enjoy traveling with you, traveling together. All the meetups in Germany, we'll be talking about that, and just can't wait to pick your brain a little bit and expand to everybody, expound to everybody a little bit what you do. This is about you today, and we want to learn more about you, your channel, your goals, your aspirations, and whatnot. Does that sound pretty good to you?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, let's start out with this here. For someone that has never met you before, okay, has never met you before, first time they're seeing Travel Adventures with Eric B. What will you say about yourself? What do you do? What does Travel Adventures with Eric B do?
Well, I love travel. One thing about me, I love travel. I love travel of all kinds, and I like to be in the moment. I like to experience different things, different places. Always love to experience as much as I can. Trying to branch out a little more on the experience and food side because I can be a little picky when it comes to that. But I definitely love to experience different places, love to experience the culture in general, seeing the way things are. I like to immerse myself, see the way people do in different places, just to get out. Like one of my favorite things to do when I travel abroad or even in the US, like I like to go to different stores, places that we don't have at home, grocery stores, things like that. I'm a people watcher too. I like to kind of watch people and see the way people do things. And it's a real joy because this world that we live in is so big. And every day we go to work, we go to school, or whatever the case may be. And we live in such a small little box. But then when you get out and you realize how big this world is and how different everything is, and it's so different, but at the same time, we're all the same.
That's right. That's exactly right. Now, when did you realize you had this bug for travel?
Um, to be honest with you, I never I barely left town until after I graduated high school. I think the when I was in college, the first time I had a real trip, I went to Miami with a buddy of mine, and we went to a football game, Miami Florida State game. He's a big Florida State fan, and
Oh,
really
sorry.
enjoyed that. That was the first time. Then I went to Atlanta, and then I went to New York. I think the same year. It was like 2000. Well, that was 2002. It was right after the Trade Center. I went to New York for the first time, and I really enjoyed it. And I went to Atlanta and went to some stadiums, went to the Braves game and all of that back in like 2002, and that was a whole lot of fun as well. And as I got to get out, and the only time, like I said, really when I was young, the only time trip I took in elementary school, I went to Memphis on a field trip. That was pretty much it. So there wasn't any travel like young, like it wasn't something I do. I always One of my mottos always is growing up, travel wasn't an option, and now travel is the only option. That's one of my mottos
I like that. I like
because
that.
growing up it wasn't a lot of it, but I did more and more in college, and then I started to branch out a little more. Once I started working a little bit and I was able to put a little money aside, I said, you know what, I got 3 vacations at work, I'm going to go somewhere different each year. I kind of started that like in the maybe around like 2012, 13, started going to 2 or 3 places a year within the states. And I think it was 2017, it was 16 or 17 was the first time I went abroad. I went to on a trip to London, Prague, and Paris, all on the same trip. Walter's World is a channel that I watch a lot, obviously that you watch a lot too, and I got inspired a lot from watching Mark and Jocelyn. I
Right.
never really even thought about traveling internationally. I was like, man, this would be cool to do. I ended up going to the football game in London with my sister. It was the
Right.
Dolphins and the Saints. I'm a Dolphin fan. I like the Saints too. They're the home team, but I'm a Dolphin fan first. My sister likes the Saints and everything. So they played each other in London. So it was a perfect opportunity. Got all my travel advice from Walter's World and learning about the different cities. So I did that trip right there, and that was a whole lot of fun. that kind of opened me up to travel. I actually went to Rome on that trip too. It was 4 cities, so that kind of opened me up to it. And then again, before the pandemic in 2020, I traveled abroad again and had a great time. Went back to Prague and did a couple other places. And at that point, I decided at that point, you know what? I said my goal was I want to go abroad at least once a year. Got to go to Canada, maybe. Well, I've been to Canada 3 times. I've been to 3 major cities. Vancouver, I went to first. I went to Montreal, and then I went to Toronto, and it really had a blast doing that. Canada's great. I've really decided, hey, each year I want to go abroad, and each year on my birthday in June, I want to be traveling because I want to spend my birthday doing what I love to do, and travel is what I love to do.
That's right. That's right. And it's evident too. It's evident. I got a question for you that I'm sure that everybody would like to know. So you got this bug for travel and you've been traveling to different places. When did you start wanting to share your travel? Say, you know what, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. How did that come about?
Well, it's something that I thought about a long time. Like I thought about like enjoying the travel advice, watching Yellow Productions and watching Walter's World and all of this. And I was like, man, this is really cool. I get a lot of value out of this. It'd be nice if I could share the value myself with others. But then I kind of told myself, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to deal with trolls and all this kind of stuff.
Oh
So when
yeah.
the pandemic came in 2020, and pretty much twice a week watching Walter's World live streams, watching Means to Travel live streams, and then seeing other channels kind of start up and everything, and seeing all these live streams and channels, I said, you know what? I think I can do this myself. I'm going to start my channel up. So at that point, that's when I just started it up.
And there you are. And that's how we met. We met through Walter's World, through his live streams. I'm like, who's this guy, Eric D? I gotta figure out. Now you had another name prior to this. What was that?
Well, the other name was just my real name. I didn't.
Where-
I before I changed it to Travel Adventures with Eric B. I just went by my real name on there.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to remember. I was trying to remember what it was. Like me, I had another channel first. It was Germany Travel Personal Guide, and it sounded like I was a agency. And I was like, no, I'm not an agency. I do this stuff for fun, vlogging, and all that stuff. But that's when I changed my name to Magnificent Germany with Darren. But anyways, your first video. Do you remember your very first video and what it was?
um, my very first video was an intro to the channel. I went downtown Baton Rouge, and it's funny because if you go back now and you watch that video, like I watch it, it really sounds like I'm reading off a script, and I don't even get my outro right in the video. I think instead of saying, you know how now with my outro, I always say, tomorrow's never guaranteed. I think I said tomorrow's never promised. And the whole
Right.
thing just sounded like I was reading it because it was my first video. I was a little nervous about it. It was a different experience, but it's kind of fun to go back and look at that. My first real vlog that I filmed um, was on my birthday that year. I went to Texas. I went to San Antonio and well, I went to San Antonio and I went to Galveston Island. I think the San Antonio one was the first one I filmed on the river walk. That video was a little rough now when I go back and look at it, but those are my first videos. That video and the Galveston video was showing a little bit of the beach and showing my room and everything.
I think the first video that I watched, if I remember correctly, I could be off, but I remember you drove down to Miami and you were by the beach and you were driving around and you had a rental car and I forgot what you're doing. You also went to a what an aerospace museum or some type of
Um,
Air Force
I have a few
museum.
videos in Miami. Well, the Aerospace Museum I think you're thinking of is Houston because I went to the
Hey,
NASA in Houston.
that's what I'm thinking of. Absolutely.
That was an earlier video too.
Now,
Wasn't the first, but it was an earlier one.
now you're from the Big Easy, right? You're from
Well, from Baton
Louisiana,
Rouge, close,
Baton Rouge. Okay.
close.
So you have now. I know you have a bunch of playlists. Now you
Yes.
have one, if I remember correctly, titled Louisiana Travel.
Yes.
What if someone was to look right now under Louisiana Travel, what would be in that playlist? Just off the
Lots
top
of
of your head.
videos there. Lots of festivals. I enjoyed going to festivals last year. I did the Crawfish Festival in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, which was a lot of fun. There's a lot of videos, museums, and cool things in Baton Rouge. Ton of New Orleans videos. But if you're interested in learning about different museums and different fun little quirky spots in Baton Rouge and New Orleans, there's a lot of videos on that on my channel. A lot of festivals on there, as I mentioned. There's a video about Jazz Fest in New Orleans.
And
A lot of
boudins.
just oh yeah, there's a Louisiana food video on the channel, which is
I like
great.
that one.
Yeah, that one's great. It tells you about a lot of the popular foods in Louisiana. So, but yeah, there's a lot of videos in that playlist. You know, there's the zoos, all the museums, and different stuff. So, and
Right.
that playlist is going to continue to grow because there are several places in the state that I'm looking to go this year that I haven't been to. That's on my list.
Absolutely. Now, since we're in Louisiana, I heard you're a big LSU fan. Is that correct?
Go Tigers!
Oh, oh,
Not Gators, not
uh,
Gators, sir, not Gators.
excuse me. I need some water. I need a. Uh, yeah. Excuse me. I had to wet my throat here, but yeah.
The
I
Gators will
enjoy.
be back someday.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. They'll be back. They will be back. You know they. They made it to the SEC championship game last year.
And what sport?
Football. They bought their tickets early. They were on sale. They were on sale, they got them. But,
There-
no, we're gonna be there. No, but I love playlists, I love watching your videos, and, I watch tons of your videos, and there's videos I have not watched yet. But, I love your style, man, love your videos. I also love another place that you love, I love to watch you there because you love I love like, I love going to Germany, and I know you do too. We'll get that in a little bit. But I know you love Vegas, and you like to go to Vegas, and you like to do stuff. And I remember your very first video, you're doing transportation in and outs, something like
yep.
that. That
Yeah,
was an
that's one
awesome
of the
video.
videos.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. What's that? I wrote this down. 14 things to know about Las Vegas. A complete tour of the MGM parks. Las Vegas in 48 hours, right? So what was that
Right.
about? You're just there for a couple days?
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun. I think that's the video where I went into the Vegas Knights, the NHL team that won the Stanley Cup. I went to a hockey game. That was a lot of fun. Just kind of went and checked out some different things in the city. I noticed, I think it's a separate video. I went downtown to the Container Park, which is this huge, massive park, restaurants, shops, and everything, all out of shopping, all out of containers, like literally reusable containers. They made
That's
that into
awesome.
that. But yeah, the
Now,
24-hour Vegas video was a lot of fun too. I got to meet a couple of Vegas best YouTubers. Norma Jelly, she has over 100 and so thousand subscribers. So I had to meet Jay Cation, another really good YouTuber as well. So I had a really good time in Vegas. I'm actually going back in a couple months, but only for a day and a half. I'm
okay.
actually going kind of like a day and a half because it's a layover, and then
So
I'm
your
going to
next video
Seattle.
your next video is gonna be titled 36 hours in Vegas.
I don't know. The next video I think I want to do is free things to do in Vegas because I wanted to do a video on that. So I think we'll do free things to do in Vegas, and I think I'll hit a museum. I really want to go to Area 15, and they have
What is that?
oh, it's a really fun place. You got to check it out. They got this place called Meow Wolf, and then there's another place. I can't think of the name of it.
You just
It's
said
a
meow
really
wolf? You just meowed
Meow
and barked
Wolf.
at the same time?
Yeah, like the cow and the wolf. But there's
Okay.
this other place. You got to see it. It's like $50 to get in, but it's crazy. It's I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to look it up again. But okay, so it's themed like a grocery store. Like you go in it, they got all these wild items, and it's like a mystery house or something. Because you go in, and then there's like a door. You go through this door, and then there's like all of these weird colors, and it's crazy.
Oh, wow.
I've
Wow.
watched a lot of vlogs of it.
Wow, I don't well, I need to check that out. Now, in that video that we're talking about, the 48 hours, didn't you have the YouTubers on your thumbnail, if I
Yeah,
remember
I did
correctly?
have them on the thumbnail. I got to meet.
Okay. And didn't you walk up to one of them while she was doing a live stream or he was doing a live
Yeah,
stream? How'd
yeah,
that work out?
I actually gave her a warning though because I was in her live stream because she goes live in Vegas like every Wednesday. So a couple weeks earlier, I told her I said I was going to be in Vegas. I'm gonna catch you on a live stream or whatever. And she was like, "Yeah, make sure you come say hi." And then
There you
like the
go.
same day, I saw where she was, so I knew exactly where she was. So then I just walked up to her, and
That's
she was with
awesome.
the other guy, Jay Cation, who has the other channel. They were together, and I was like, snuck up on her. I was like, "Norma." She's like, "Oh, hey."
That's awesome. You know, I like it when folks are like that because, being a YouTuber, you have to have a sense of want to be outgoing, outspoken, not outspoken, but just outgoing, a little bit. I've seen some, not many, where they'll say do all this, do all that, but they don't want to talk to you. They just want your subscription and leave you alone. But you get folks
Oh,
like
she was really nice though. She
like
was a
like this
sweetheart.
person, you know what I mean? And really want to talk to you and spend time. Same with the Walters world. Mark and Jocelyn. They're not high and mighty. They're hi, how are you? And very very personable. That's the word. And I think anybody in YouTube should be personable. And should have that expectation of being personable because it's very important. It's very important. Don't would you agree with that?
100%. And the place that I was talking about, I remember now. I looked it up. It's called Omega Mart. But this place is really wild. There's all the bright colors and different mazes and different stuff. It's like a big crazy maze within the settings of a grocery store. You got to look up some videos on this place. It's awesome. I think when I'm in Vegas that day,
I
I
wrote it
think I'm going
down.
to do a video on Omega Mart. Area 15 is the building that it's in, and there's other things in Area 15. I think I'm
Now,
going to do that, and I'm going to do a video on free things to do in Vegas.
I wondered if they got that from Area 51 and just transpose the numbers.
I don't know. It probably it's probably that's probably what they were thinking when they put it together.
Yeah,
Something similar.
yeah, exactly. Let's talk
Area
about
51 is actually not that far from it. I don't think
it's not. Let's talk about Circus, right there in the Midway.
that was fun.
Yeah, I remember you were saying something about bring the kids. Why would you bring
Great
the
place to
kids?
bring the kids.
Okay, how come?
Okay, so they got this big I don't know if it's called a Thunderdome. I don't know if I'm messing up the name of it, but there's this big facility in there with rides and stuff. Like it's huge, man. They got all kind of different rides and slides and then Circus itself, they have a little big section for video for arcade games, which I love the arcade games. There's a ton of arcade games there. There's circus shows there. Of course, they have acts like a couple times a day where you can see the lady balancing the cups and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
There's
I can
clown
do that.
shows. There's magician shows. They do a lot of stuff to cater to the kids. So if you come to Vegas and bring your kids, you definitely want to bring them to Circus because they really do have a lot of things there to cater to the kids.
That's good. That's good. Now, when people think of Vegas, they think of gambling. Gambling, gambling. That's all there's there. That's all there's again. Just like Oktoberfest. They think Oktoberfest is nothing about beer, beer, beer. Now, there's a lot of beer, right? But there's more to it. It's like a big state park, or a big state fair, type thing. Um, you made a video about that, about
Yep.
the let me see, what was it called? Best of Las
12 things
Vegas
to do in Vegas, not
without
gambling.
gambling.
Yep.
All right. So, all right, let's put the gambling aside. Okay. What things would a family say? A family is watching this right now. I don't want to go to Vegas. A bunch of everybody's gambling. What would you say? What would you tell that person?
Okay, so this is the thing about Vegas. Vegas is the entertainment capital of the world. So you could go in a casino and do so much and not put a penny in a slot machine or not put a penny on a table. You go in, the Bellagio's a perfect example. They got the big fountains on the outside. They're beautiful. Everyone likes to watch them at the beginning of each hour. And then there's free shows in a lot of the casinos. The Bellagio has the conservatory, which I have in my video about the Bellagio. Beautiful. They change it 4 or 5 times a year, and it's somewhere you could just go to and just really enjoy and stare at for like hours. Well, I'm not gonna say hours, but at least 30 minutes. Like it's beautiful. And they always change it up. And then there's other free shows at different casinos. So there's so much to do in Vegas. Not to mention if you like shopping, you can go shopping or at least window shopping because some of the places are too expensive for most of us to shop at. But also, I mean, you go into casinos, there's so many restaurants and bars. So you want to go to a restaurant or bar, you want to try different foods. There's any type of food you can imagine in there, like so many different types
How
of
do you like the food out
cuisines.
there? You like it?
Yeah, the food's great. There's a lot of hidden gems there too. Like the Norma Jelly, I was talking about earlier that I met. She's got a lot of videos on different places in Vegas, like places that are hidden and stuff that you might not even see, like the speakeasy bars, the restaurants that are tucked off that have certain specials. Like they'll have like secret pizza is on a certain floor, and you go through this exit, and the average person doesn't even know where it's at, but you get there and they have like really cheap slices of pizza, but most people don't know about it. So it's called cheap, called secret pizza. So I
Oh
mean,
wow,
there's so many hidden gems, but there is so much to do in Vegas without putting a penny on a table or in a slot machine.
that's right. And also, there's things to do out of Vegas. You made a video which
Yes.
done very well. You made, I believe, last time I looked, you had over 3,400 views on best day trips from Las Vegas. I enjoyed that video. And folks out there, if you ever want to go to Vegas and check out the day trips, check out Eric's channel right here. You know, Travel Adventures where it be. It's titled Best Day Trips from Las Vegas, and a lot of views on it. And he did an excellent job. Now, moving on here, helicopter rides. What in the world? That was I saw that and
That
everything.
was a lot of fun.
That should have 68 million views. Folks, go see his helicopter. He's flying over Vegas. How cool is that? Check that out. It's called Helicopter Flight over Las Vegas. Right there, right there. And man, that was awesome. How much was that, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, that one wasn't too bad. I think that one was about 100 or a little over 100, I want to say, and they give you they even give you a limo ride there. Now, this is well, it was during the pandemic. I don't know how much it's gone up now. It's been 2, 3 years now. So, well, 3 years this year,
It's
but I think it
probably
was like right around
$500
a hundred
now.
dollars. Not bad, but if you, it was a little over 100, and maybe 118 or something like that. But also, though, you can do the longer one. They'll take you all the way to the Grand Canyon and back, and I think that one's a few hours. And that one's going to probably run you about $300, $400. But
Wow.
I would love to do that because the Grand Canyon is beautiful. You can see my picture behind me right there. That's at the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is beautiful. I did a road trip from Vegas to the Grand Canyon. So if you could do a helicopter ride over the Grand Canyon,
I would
I
love to.
recommend that as well. But the one that I did over the city was amazing. Highly recommended. I'd do it again.
Wow. I would love to do that. And especially not only the city, but the Grand Canyon behind you. I mean, that's pretty cool. I think that was our second live stream I had you on. Um, we used this picture, and that was. It seems like forever and a day ago, but it's pretty neat. But a little bit more about Vegas because you do such a wonderful job with your videos, Eric, and that's why I want more people to know more about you. But you get into the strip, you get down around Fremont and all that. w or was it the Fremont Experience? That's what it
The
was.
Fremont Experience, yeah,
Yeah,
downtown Vegas.
that's right downtown, isn't it? Isn't that downtown
Yep,
Vegas?
that's downtown.
Okay, and that's where, the Strip's down there, now how far is the casino from all that? Is it the Belagino?
The the which one? The
Bellagio?
Bellagio?
I'm saying it wrong. Bellagino Casino?
Bellagio?
Bellagio. Yeah.
The Bellagio's on the strip. It's in the middle of the strip.
It's on the same one?
Yeah, so it's a little further from downtown. Downtown's not far from the strip, but it's not walking distance. Like if you get in a car and you go, it probably would take you like 10 minutes, not long at all. A little too far to walk though. The strip
Right.
itself, it's really long. It's like 4 miles from end to end, so it'll take you a while to walk it. And then sometimes with Vegas, sometimes the way the sidewalks are, you got to go escalator up, walk this way, escalator down.
Oh my
There's a lot of
goodness.
walking in Vegas.
Wow. Man, that's cool. I need to get out there, and, watching your videos made me wanna do that a little bit. Now, moving on, we're gonna go on here. Looking at your playlist, and and knowing that I was gonna have you up here, I was really studying them and everything, because, like I said, you do a wonderful job, and it needs to be but you got a very interesting playlist called Travel Day Vlogs. When you got one in New Orleans, right there, from or
Yeah,
New Orleans,
travel vlog days.
Santa Monica, and everything. That was a cool video. What made you think of that? Did you actually go on Route 66?
No, I actually, well, I actually stayed in Santa Monica, so I got to go to Santa Monica Beach, which is amazing,
Yeah,
and
because you went on
Venice
the
Beach,
pier,
which
right? The pier and Third
yeah, the
Street
pier
Promenade.
and Venice Beach, which they're right
Venice.
next to each other. And Venice Beach is a little more rough around the edges, but a lot of fun. A lot more homeless people in Venice Beach. Like I said, it's a lot more rougher around the edges, but both are a lot of fun. Now, unfortunately, I went to Venice Beach early in the morning, so I got that was the only time I had to get there, do a little tour of it. So you didn't really get to see any of the shops or anything open. I had a good sandwich there early in the morning, though. I did have that.
You can find the sandwiches. I, I got personal video on that, and we'll talk about that a little bit when we get to Germany a little bit here. But there was one vlog where you went to Norway via New York. It was a travel vlog day 2, I think it was.
Yep.
New York to Oslo, Norway.
Yep.
Tell us about that a little bit. Just give us a little bit of highlights on that.
Man, that was a lot of fun. I actually got a flight for 129 US dollars. It was
Man,
North Airways. Yeah, they're actually a new company. They've only been flying since 2021. I know, and that was 2023, so only a couple years. So that's a new airline. It was a good experience. I didn't have any issues with them at all, and for that price, and the flight was great though, because I get to Norway. It was exciting because I haven't been to Scandinavia before. So just getting off the plane, experiencing another part of the world that I haven't been to before, it was really nice. And Norway's a little pricey. Norway, Sweden, Finland, but those places are beautiful places. And going in the middle of the summer, one of the most interesting things about it was sunlight to almost midnight. So I
oh
actually went and took a nap, and then I got up, and it was like 10:30, and it was still bright sunshine.
wow, 10:30 at night.
10:30 at night. It stayed sunshine to almost midnight.
Wow, wow. Yeah, it's fun going to different places, all different parts of the world, isn't it? Especially going there for the first time. And we all got places where we love and go back to, and it's fun to do that. But it's also fun to go somewhere different where you haven't been to. I always try to make it a rule of thumb. There are certain places in Germany I go to all the time. It's standard. I go there. I mean, it's just plain and simple. But I'm gonna go to places, one or two that I have not been. I go back to the same places because I like it. There's a reason, but I like to add on places as well. Um, Now, once you got to Norway. What? No, what part of Norway? You were Oslo.
I was in Oslo.
Was it? Is it a very big place?
Oslo's pretty big. It's the capital. All of, pretty much most of the places that I've been to on the last trip were all a lot of the capital cities and things like that because I like to go to places with the best infrastructure to kind of get me from place to place. I like to branch out a little bit though and see the places around. But Oslo is the capital. It's the biggest city there. Really nice modern city. I only spent a day there, so I didn't really spend a lot of time there. And then I went to Stockholm, Sweden, spent a couple days there. Both
Wow.
places really nice. One of the things I really like about it is to be able to see the old town compared to the modern and new side because the old town area, the classic area, it's always fun to see it, but to be able to compare the two from the old town to the new town, it's a lot of fun seeing old buildings from way back in the day, and then seeing like these new modern buildings. It's always fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Another thing that's fun, Eric. I can't believe over the years. Think about this. We've been racking up some years now. We done been on two cruises together.
Yep,
Germany a few times, or at least three times. And it's pretty awesome. But back to this vlog, the travel day vlogs. Um, you had one in there, talking about going from New Orleans to Miami for your first cruise, and
that was awesome.
that was back in 2022, and you and I were on that same cruise for helping hands for cruising, and that was a fun time. That was a fun time. What did you think of your very first cruise?
Man, it was so much fun. So many great people. It's just awesome, man, that to fellowship and get to meet so many good people. I haven't met a person yet in this travel community who wasn't good. I mean, if they were, I haven't seen that side of them. Everyone that I've met has been pretty awesome. So,
I
and just,
agree.
making friends and, continuing to make friends in this community it's special,
Yeah.
so many
You're-
great people and getting to spend time with people, getting to know people, and just
Yes,
enjoying that whole experience. I mean, cruising is a great thing. I mean, I always knew that I wanted to do it because I got friends that have taken the cruises occasionally in the past, and I've said, hey, I want to try that out. So, I just didn't have no one to really go with or the times to match. But getting
sure,
involved in this community and meeting so
sure.
many people made it easy for me to go out and explore the cruising.
That's right. And that was a fun time. I believe that cruise wasn't that an 8 day cruise? That was an 8 day.
It was 8 days.
Yeah, that was nice. And you and I just got off another one past October, the celebration. We're on the celebration out of Urami. I mean, out of Miami. But
It was a lot of
man,
fun too.
we had a great time. Now, there's one thing in particular that I want to talk about, and I hope you shared a little bit about this. Sometimes travel, you have a little hiccups along the way.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes
definitely.
sometimes things happen. I call it character building. It builds character, right? No sense getting upset. It's not going to do anything but make it worse. You know, it's not my favorite saying. It's not the situation; it's how you handle it. But you actually had a travel vlog where you had 4 delays in one day. How do
Four.
you do this, Sir Eric? How do you have four delays in one day?
The crazy thing about it all is it all ended up working out fine. But yeah, 4 delays in one day. It was a delay before I even got to the airport. I get there and there's a delay. Then once I get to the next stop, there's another delay. I would have actually missed my connection flight, but the only thing that saved me from missing it was delayed.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's just one of those things. Uh, I mean, I'm sure you agree with me, but if you don't, just say you don't. But anytime you travel, something's going to happen. You agree or
Oh
disagree?
yeah. This is why I say whenever you travel too, always, if you're gonna budget a certain amount of money, always budget extra. I'd say about 25% extra because you're gonna do something stupid and I left this in my room and I left the room, so now I got to spend $25 on this. And I got to spend $30 on this. I missed the train, so now I got to do this. I missed the bus, now I got to do this.
The
It's
train
always
breaks down.
something.
The train breaks down like you and I, and Billy.
Oh,
And
worst, one of the worst ones was in London. And I learned this now listening to Mark, because Mark Walters always talks about this too. Like, you get the cheap tickets to Stansted in London, and if you miss that train or whatever for Stansted, or something happens, there's a delay or something happens, you can end up paying. I end up paying almost $200, almost 200 United States bucks for Uber to the airport in London, all
wow,
because I wanted to save a few dollars on the flight.
wow.
So if you're there, if you can, you definitely want to go with Gatwick. Well, not necessarily Gatwick, because Gatwick's far away too. You want to go with
Heathrow?
Heathrow, the main airport, if you can.
Wow.
Or if you do go with one of those other ones, you want to make sure that the flight is not early in the morning. You want to make sure it's at a time where you can get in and out of there on the bus for $15 and not pay £200, two
No,
hundred
right.
dollars.
No, exactly. Exactly. You got to travel, and you got to travel smart. That's the importance of study, um, learning before you go. Um, Reasons why to watch Eric B's videos. When you watch his videos, he gives you tidbits. He gives you tips on what to do, what not to do, and so make sure you subscribe to my buddy Eric B. Travel Adventures with Eric B. And you will see what I'm talking about. You'll thank me later, folks. Whoever you are listening, you will thank me later. But
Always hope for the best, but plan for the worst, because
what-
you
exactly,
got to be prepared.
that's right, like a Boy Scout. Now,
And
one,
we
one
had
more
those
thing.
issues last year traveling to Heidelberg.
Oh, right, right, and we'll get to that absolutely. But before we get to that, there's one more I want to talk to you about. Cancun. You traveled to Cancun. Was that a how many days was that?
That was I was I disappointed myself because I only booked 4 or 5 days to get off from work. I wish I would have stayed longer, because most of the other people from the group, this was a group with two traveling tour, stayed a week to a week and a half, and I wish I would have too, because it was such a good time. Such a beautiful resort, great people, amazing time, but I only stayed like 4 days. I wish it was longer, but I had a fantastic time.
Wow. Yeah, that's one thing about travel. You go to places you like. I'm like, wow, I wish I had longer time. Now, speaking of time, we're not going to get to every one of your videos. That just means that we need to have more podcasts and more time to talk. But I do want to talk to you about one of my favorite subjects, and that's international travel. And we're going to get to Germany in a little bit. But and we sort of talked a little bit about England, stuff like that. But or London, but there's some other things. Um, One place I've not been to is the Baltics, and you just came out with a video not too long ago, maybe a month ago. The 12 things to know about the Baltics. What was some? Can you summarize that video for the folks who's watching for the first time? What they will find?
Well, Well, I really wanted to tell people about the Baltics, because the Baltics is a wonderful place to go to, and it's really underrated, because a lot of people know about like Scandinavia, they know about like Sweden and Norway and places like that, but a lot of people, especially in the U.S., you mentioned Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. More people probably heard of Lithuania than the other two, but a lot of people here never heard of these countries. They don't know anything about them, but these places are fantastic to go to. These places are, I would say, they're a little rougher around the edges than, say, Sweden and Norway. And but at the same time, these places are beautiful. They have so much to see. They have so much history, and also they're more affordable than the places that you would go to in Scandinavia. You pay less money, so you're probably looking at about 10 to 15% less than what you would pay in the U.S. when you're in somewhere like Latvia. Latvia is a great party place. I had a great time there. I had a
Did you laugh
video
a
I
lot?
did
Did you
there.
laugh a lot there?
I
That's
didn't laugh in Latvia. No, I didn't. Well, I probably did. I think I laugh everywhere at some point. But yeah, I had an
right.
amazing time there doing
You
karaoke. That's a
you
great
you
party
do have a
place.
distinct laugh, and that's contagious. So, you just keep on laughing.
But I highly recommend the Baltics to anyone that's looking for places that's reasonably priced to travel to, that's beautiful with a lot of history. The Baltics is somewhere I recommend, and in somewhere like Estonia, like Tallinn, is very modern too, even though it's a medieval city with a lot of the history and the castles and all these beautiful things. It's also a very modern place from a technology standpoint. It's probably just as modern as anywhere else you're going to go in this world. Very modern place. So yeah, I do highly recommend the Baltics. I think a lot of it. The Baltics, I think they're amazing. All three
That
countries are
that
amazing. I'm looking forward to going back to all three countries and exploring more of them.
that's great. I can't wait to see the videos. Now, let's pop on over to Iceland. You found the, what do you call it? The pools, the heated pools,
Oh, the Blue Lagoon.
Blue Lagoon. Tell us about that. How'd you like that?
The Blue Lagoon was amazing. It was just as advertised. Now there's a lot of hot springs and less populated ones in Iceland to go to, but if you've never been to Iceland
I've
and you
never
want
been.
to go to a hot spot, you want to enjoy a hot spot, you definitely want to go to the Blue Lagoon because it is, like I said, it's definitely it's all that it's cracked up to be. We've all seen the videos, postcards, the beautiful water and everything.
I
There's
heard
the still
they
love
have good internet
bars.
there, being a hotspot. Ah! Right.
But
But,
yeah, it's a beautiful place though, and I definitely recommend it.
that's awesome. Now, your international playlist, you started out, I think it was a two-part series about London. There was one highlights from your London trip. That was back in 2020. That's pre-COVID, right?
Yeah, that was actually like right before COVID.
Yeah, okay. And then, you had another one, I believe it was two-part, right? It was a two-part London.
Yep,
Yeah, okay.
I
And
know
then you
there's
went on.
one like with the march and the changing of the guards. There's a video on that. And I know I show a little bit of Leicester Square and
Leicester Square,
all of that.
yeah, yes, I remember that. Absolutely. And, you went on to, later on, I think, I don't know if it was the same year. It was about a little over 3 years ago, I guess. You went to, Canada. Well, you mentioned that, Toronto, Montreal, and what was the third one? Vancouver.
Vancouver.
Vancouver, yeah, yeah. Now, out of all those cities in Canada, what was your favorite?
They're
I know
all
they're all
really
probably
different.
good, but, you know.
They're all really different. So if you're comparing the three cities in Canada that I've been to, they're all really different. So from a nature standpoint, a beauty standpoint, pretty city and everything, Vancouver is definitely the prettiest. Like the Lionsgate Bridge and everything, the Capilano Suspension Bridge you walk across when you're high above, and the bridge is this narrow and it's shaking, and you're walking and you look down, and yeah, Vancouver is definitely the prettiest. Montreal is probably the most fun. Montreal's a party type city, bars and clubs and everything. Montreal's a lot of fun. Really enjoyed that. I like what's that park called? Mount Royale. Montreal's a lot of fun. Toronto, I didn't really get to experience as much as Vancouver or Montreal, but it's a lot of fun, a lot of history there. I would say more history there. The ROM Museum was a lot of fun. That's the museum, the Royal Ontario Museum. It's called the ROM. They got the dinosaur relics and mummies and everything. That's one of my favorite museums. I'd probably say that's one of the top 5 to 10 museums I've been to. That museum's great. The Hockey Hall of Fame's great in Toronto.
Oh,
So
wow.
say they're all different in their own ways from a history and a museum standpoint, and then St. Lawrence Market and all. I say Toronto's better in that way. Montreal's better for the partying, and Vancouver's better for the beauty.
All right. So all
But
three triangle together. That they're it's all good because if every place was the same, it wouldn't be good, right? So it's
exactly,
good to change it up. I experienced Toronto a couple times, but mostly the airport because finding good deals. I'm always looking for good deals flying to Germany, and I found a couple times good deals out of Toronto. I got a friend that lives in Michigan, so I would fly into Flint, and then we would drive over to Toronto and
nice.
fly. It was like 200. I think it was $245 round trip from Toronto.
Wow,
And I had to pay $160 round trip to get to Flint. So I made up pretty well that
wow.
last trip. That was worth doing that. And plus,
Maybe I need to see if there's a flight from Germany to Toronto
that's the
for
first
that
place I
price.
look. Eric, that's the first place I look when I'm looking searching for flights.
Yeah,
And
I generally search New York because there's always
JFK,
deals with New York.
yeah, JFK for sure. And in fact,
I
you
prefer
gave me that.
Newark though.
See, you gave me that tip a few years ago, man. Y'all, just JFK, and I would thought, you have to get there, but
Yeah,
you get good deals. So,
I actually prefer Newark because Newark, the way the train is set up, is just easier to navigate because you got JFK and you got LaGuardia. I know one of them you got to take the Q45 or the Q something. You got to take the bus and all of this stuff, but it's just easier to navigate because if you're in Newark, you can take the train at the airport, and the train will take you like directly to Penn Station in New York. It'll take you like right there by Madison Square Garden.
right, yeah, you got to look at everything, layovers and stuff like that, things to do.
Right.
You know, now 2020, you were very busy in 2020. I mean, you got around. You also went to Prague in Czechoslovakia.
Yep.
I got to visit that town too. And let me ask you a question. You mentioned the bridge, the Lions Bridge of Vancouver. How does that compare to the bridge in the famous bridge right there in Prague? Or is there a
Well,
comparison?
it's totally different from the Charles Bridge because the Charles Bridge is from the 1300s, so it's a really old bridge,
Yeah.
and it's one of those bridges like it's quintessential moment when you're in Europe and you're walking across that bridge because that's a lot of history on that bridge. Used
Tons.
to have severed heads on there, all kinds of stuff. So
Did you see
that
the
bridge is
castle?
totally different. The
See the
Lions
castle up
Gate's
there?
more of a yeah, the Lions Gate in Vancouver is more like a modern type bridge. Kind of reminds me of the Golden Gate Bridge a little bit.
Yeah, I guess it does. In pictures, I've seen that. I never been to there, but in pictures,
Yeah, the
I've been to
Lions Gate
Prague,
is
but
it's
not.
green. Well, I was talking about the Lions Gate. It's green
Yeah. Oh,
in Vancouver. But the
okay.
Charles Bridge in Prague though is like a stone bridge. So yeah, it's a really old bridge, but
All right. So you have historic to modern, basically.
exactly.
Yeah.
But both are awesome.
Now, um, later on that year, you went to Paris, right? Was that your first time in
Yep.
Paris in 2020?
Um, the first time was I think in like 2017. It was on the same
Oh,
trip as the London. The football game it was the same trip. It was 2017.
okay.
So 2020 was the second time.
But you weren't YouTubing yet in 2017.
No,
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, what's your overall assessment of Paris?
beautiful place. My favorite thing about Paris is just wandering around because you can just get off on a random metro exits. And I like to do this. I like to just get on the metro one day and just get off on random exits and
And
just
walk around?
find beautiful stuff. Yeah, just wander upon things. That's
Yeah.
my favorite thing to do in Paris.
Wow. Yeah, I love doing that stuff. I do like your thumbnail though. Uh, you were like this, and you're on the Alpha Tower, you had your finger or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was cool. That was awesome. Have you ever been up in the tower?
Oh, which tower?
the Eiffel Tower.
No, that's something I need to do at some point.
You need to
I've
do
been
it.
to it now 4 times. I haven't been up it yet, but I hear like you got to take multiple elevators and things like that. And
Yeah.
the thing about it is, when you're in the tower, you kind of already miss out on the prettiest thing to see when you get a great view of the city, because you can't see the tower when you're in it. But I want to do it for the experience one of these times.
Yeah, just don't go back in time to the day I did it because a lady barfed right next to me.
Oh Lord.
Oh man, she
I
oh
heard it's not good if you're claustrophobic, which
oh
I'm
no,
not
no,
really
it's
claustrophobic,
tight in
but
there, but
yeah.
she had chunks. Maybe that's too much
Ooh.
information, but it was all and the smell, and everybody in there. There was
Oh,
other people gagging, and every time someone went, "Ooh," I went, "Oh," the smell came up, and just when you thought she was finished, she kept going. It was pouring out. I'm going to stop talking about this.
that might be TMI.
That's TMI. That's TMI. And woo wee. But yeah, don't play Back to the Future and go back to that day I was on there. I actually did a live going up there, and when I was doing the live, I stopped my live because of that. I said, "What's that?" Well, stop! It's like, oh my goodness. Um, Later on that year, you went to Rome. You visited
Yeah,
Rome, so
that was a lot of fun.
a lot of fun, lot of history. You went to the Colosseum, didn't you?
Coliseum, yeah, Coliseum's amazing. The Vatican, didn't get to go in the Vatican. I know they have like the little area, Vatican City, where you could go in the temple, and I didn't get to go in, but next time I'd probably go in. But the Coliseum, yeah, that's a lot of
Yep.
history.
I remember seeing pictures of you standing by the fountain, the famous fountain there. I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, Trevi Fountain.
Church. Yeah, yeah. That was cool.
Trevi Fountains. That's awe inspiring.
Did you drink any of that water?
No, but they I did the little ritual. You flip a penny behind your back, and if it lands in the Trevi Fountain, that means you get to go back to Rome.
Now that's pretty gnarly. That's pretty gnarly. That's good marketing. Marketing for for Rome. Hey, tell them, put this penny. They'll be back.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I have not been to Rome yet. I would like to venture out, and do that. Um, yeah, yeah, without a doubt.
I
Um,
want to go back, and I'd like to actually see some other cities in Italy. Beautiful country.
Absolutely, I want to go to Vicenza. That's where the Walters like to go to. And
Uh,
one good thing about that, hey, there's many obviously, but there's like an Edelweiss type thing there
oh,
because
really?
there's art. Yeah, so I already checked into it, um, staying there. So
Nice.
yeah, so maybe you and I will talk one day and see what's going on there. But
I'm down for it.
that's right. There's something I want to talk to you about and just expound on it. Now I know I got to be respectful every time here, but and let's go back to Prague and that birthday party you had on the boat. Tell us
Yeah.
about that birthday party. Yeah.
Oh, that
So
was great.
that must have been June because your birthday is in June.
Right.
Uh,
And the funny thing was, is I was just looking for like a good experience for my birthday, something that'd be kind of fun to do. So now I booked it. It's called a drum and percussion boat party in Prague. So I booked it online. It was only like maybe like $30. It wasn't really expensive. But yeah, I didn't have expectation, didn't know what to expect. But yeah, it was so much fun though. It was those beautiful views, and everybody on there was a lot of fun. Like when I first got on it, it's like I didn't know anybody on it, so I was like really quiet. I'm looking around, and I had a drink. I'm looking around. I'm looking at the views, and then eventually, I think when everyone on there started drinking, everybody got really nice and really cool. So I made a lot of friends on there. It was just a lot of fun.
you said
But the
everybody
the
got
DJ
really
was
high.
really good. It was fun.
That's good.
it was a really good experience though. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I booked it.
Right, right. And that was all right. And you went live from there, didn't you? Was it live or was it a
I
video?
went live on the boat and I think it was the next year. Was it the next year
You
maybe?
in
Might have
Budapest?
been the same year, but it was in when I went live, it was on the boat in Budapest.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
yeah, it was in Budapest because I did a little cruise in Budapest. That's when I went live. That was a different type of
I
cruise though.
remember
The one in
you
Prague
had
I
the camera like
enjoyed
this.
better.
That was
The
good.
one in Prague I enjoyed better because it was like a party type cruise. The one in Budapest was more like a couple type cruise, which felt really weird being a single dude on a cruise like that. But yeah, that was that cruise. It was kind of slow and it was still nice because you got to see the beautiful views in Budapest and the Buda Castle and everything. Going up the Danube River really slow.
Right. Absolutely. Now, and final thoughts here. Let's talk about one of my favorite places. Would you happen to know what one of my favorite places would be?
No sir. Where? Australia,
Yeah. You
Georgia bull puppy. Where?
no, no. Oh, none of those. None of those. Oh man, no. Oh Lord, no, no. All right. Your first time in Germany. When I picked you up from the train station in Schweinfurt, Germany, your very first time, and I said, "Welcome to Germany." That was such an awesome, awesome time. What was your first impression of Schweinfurt being your first city in Germany that you got off the train and here I am.
Well, I really enjoyed the feel of Schweinfurt, just walking around, especially at night, and just seeing the city and everything, seeing the town, because it's very unique. The square, and everything. It was just, it was pretty awesome,
That's right, and it's awesome sharing that
and the
too.
food.
The food, yeah, and the people and all that stuff. Do you remember this lady that we were talking to at the end, and we were trying to figure out who Bob was?
Oh, the lady from Lafayette.
Sandy. Sandy.
Yeah,
She is awesome. I ran into her again, and well, every year I ran into her, but we had spaghetti house together. It was her and her husband, and it was me
nice.
and Desiree, and we had a good time. But anyways, I love the city of Schweinfurt. That's where I spent 2 years of my time and serving in the United States Army, and it's a home away from home for me. And taking my buddy there, meaning you, was an awesome time for me. And we had I introduced you to Dona. Tell the folks what you thought about your first Dona.
Man, that was a big sandwich. A lot of meat. That was a big sandwich.
I wa-
Man,
I rewatched that video when you had your first one and you're looking at it.
like wow, this thing's huge.
You look
That's a
at it,
big
you're like, well, I
sandwich.
don't
It
know.
was good though.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And not only that, we went back again another night and had some. Remember
Yeah,
that?
you had a donor earlier, but yeah, so you had some earlier that day, right? I think you had some earlier that day, donor.
Yeah. Now that donor's pretty
Because then
good
he
now.
went back that next time the donor was on the shop owner.
Yes, yes. Well, oh, I actually filmed a video there about that. Every time I go in there to this day, he, I go in there, I try to pay for it. He won't let me pay for it.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to order. I got my euros out. He's like, no, no, no. He goes, you took care of me. I'll take care of you. I was like, but I don't expect that. I don't. I'm not coming here expecting a free meal. He goes, oh
So he
no,
did he did watch the video.
yeah, yeah. He said it was good, and he goes, no, 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 like that. So he was a very very nice guy, very nice guy. And when the last trip, he offered as soon as I walk in, he started making it, and I had to go. I had to catch a train. I said, I can't stay. I got to catch a train. If I miss this train, I'm going to be really messed up. And I said, I'll come back. He was okay, okay, you come back and everything. That was cool. Um, but your first time in Schweinfurt, we stayed at the B&B hotel. What'd you think of the murals in the hotel room?
That was one of my favorite things. I love the pigs and everything associated with Schweinfurt. Thought that was pretty
Schweinfurt.
awesome.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I got the picture on my thumbnail, a video of Schweinfurt.
Oh, that's cool. That's
So
cool.
you go back and check that video
That's
out. I got
right.
the
I do remember that. Now, later on, I took you one of my other favorite places. Now, we could talk more and more about Schweinfurt. We'll be here all day, but we got to get to Garmisch. We got to talk about Garmisch a little bit. What is, in a nutshell, tell everybody your thoughts on the beautiful city of Garmisch-Partenkirchen.
Garmisch is fantastic, and I got to experience a lot of it because we did a lot of walking that day, that weekend.
Yes, we
Those
did.
2 3 days, a lot of walking around. Yeah, beautiful place though. I mean, the houses, well manicured gardens and everything. Beautiful place.
Oh, yeah. Spaghetti ice ain't too bad either, is it?
Now, spaghetti ice is never too bad.
No. Now, you have spaghetti ice in Schweinfurt, Munich, Garmisch. So you're
And in Vienna,
well.
Austria.
That's right. And didn't you have spaghetti ass and Oberammergau as well?
Maybe. I know I skipped one place you had spaghetti
Cafe
ice at. I don't remember
Paradiso,
if it was.
Cafe Paradiso and Oberammergau.
I definitely had spaghetti ice there. I skipped it in one place. I don't remember which one I skipped.
I don't remember. I don't remember. That's a sin to skip spaghetti ice, by the way.
I definitely had it at Paradiso.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's Oberammergau. Yeah. Yeah. I thought you did. I thought you did. Now, there's one thing. Now we're here. We're here. We're here. We're here. Everybody's listening. You made me a promise. Do you remember what that promise was when we were walking the shores of the Eibsee?
What's that?
Oh, would you like me to remind you?
Go for it, sir.
Well, folks, Sir Eric forgot his bathing suit somewhere, so he couldn't go swimming. He says, next time I will go swimming. Now, is that something I'm going to expect next time, or
Next time, if I don't forget it again.
right, right? Tell everybody about the Eibsee. Is it a beautiful place or not?
Oh, the Ibsea is amazing. The views there are incredible. Like I did that video too, the Ibsea, like just walking around and just exploring it without whether you want to get in the water or not, just walking around and just exploring it. It is so beautiful.
Oh, it is,
I got a rock over there from the Ibsea as a souvenir.
man. I love that lake.
That
Um,
that that water,
oh,
that's
it's,
amazing water there.
it's beautiful. It was frozen last week. It was completely
No, it
frozen.
was
Yeah, people out there ice skating on it,
nice.
and yeah, I mean, it was like wow. And here I was just swimming in that thing in June and September because September I jumped in too. It was really cold then, but
I
I
was gonna
jumped
say I
in.
wouldn't ice skate on it, but I can't ice skate anyway, so it
Yeah,
wouldn't matter.
those Germans were looking at me like I was nuts because September is like the dead of winter over there, and I'm out there.
Oh,
Oh, I'm in Leipzig, but
yeah.
hey,
Well, if September is the dead of winter, I can't imagine what they call December, the snowy Christmas markets.
yeah, I've been there Christmas time too. We stayed at the Edelweiss, my family and I, my wife, kids, and a friend of ours and her daughter. We all stayed at the IFC for almost a week, and no, it was a week. It was 7 days there, and we branched out from there. But of course, I made it to the IFC several times. Didn't swim then; it was completely frozen, But it was a good time. It was a good time. Let's get to Munich a little bit. Like I said, we could be on here for hours. So we're just gonna pick a little bit of stuff out of each place. Munich, Germany. I love Munich, Germany, and I know you did as well. What is some of the highlights of Munich, Germany from your point of view?
One of them's definitely the English Gardens. The English Gardens is great. The
Oh,
English Gardens is the type of place where you can just go sit down and just hang out a while for someone like me that likes to people watch, it's a great place to do that. Great place just to walk around. There's a restaurant there.
Oh, yes.
There's all types of park space. There's the water to jump in like you did, of course.
That's right.
Um, all entertainment right there. Go watch the surfers because there's always surfers there, which is a whole lot of fun to go watch.
Now,
So that was one of my highlights.
I
Now
heard
we
that
didn't get a
you're gonna
chance.
try surfing next time you go to the, English Garden. Is that true?
Oh yeah.
You heard it
Oh
here, folks.
yeah.
You heard it here.
Hey, didn't get a chance to go in that what's that beer garden? The one that was closed when we got there.
Yeah, well, right there, the English Garden, we ate there.
The one that's further down, the one that night. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, you talk away from
Yeah,
it.
not at the English Gardens.
You talk about the, Brain Freeze. The Brain Freeze restaurant. We got there, it was closed, and we ended up eating at the other restaurant
Right.
outside.
I
Yeah,
actually watched a video of Walter's World the other day, and Mark was talking about that place. I was like, man, that place was closed though. It looked like a really good place though to
it
go
is.
to.
It's got a cellar, down underneath. I cannot think of it to save my life. Oh,
Paul, is it no
Augustana.
Augustiner? That's it,
Yep,
Augustiner.
yep.
That's it.
The ones where all the locals go is right there by the train station, the one we went to, and it was closing. But there's another one on the way to the Hofbrau House. When you walk to the Hofbrau House, on the right-hand side, there's another one. There's two. Locals go there too, but, a lot of tourists go there as well. But if you wanna go where the locals go, you go there, and there's, like, several different levels, and you go down these little cellars and restaurants, and, oh my goodness, the food is good. But the place that we ate at, though, which is just before it on the right, that was a good place too. I really
Yeah,
enjoyed that.
it was a good place.
It was me, you, and Billy. Remember? We ate there.
I forgot what I had there. It's in the video. It wasn't a schnitzel because I ate schnitzel almost every other
You ate
time
Schnitzel.
everywhere.
I started calling him Mr. Schnitzel.
I think Billy had the schnitzel. I didn't have schnitzel.
Yeah, he did. He did, and I had Schweinehaxe, of course. You know, but I love my Schweinehaxe. That's good stuff. And I love the English Garden too. I love jumping in that water. And one of my favorite memories, because you and I have been there twice at least, together. I've been there many times, but you and I together, and my buddy Eric, Sir Eric. Um, Folks, I was out there, and there's two parts to the river. You got the Eisenach, okay? They're both the Eisenach and the Iser. The Iser is kind of slow. It's steady. You're moving, and I thought that was fast. No, that's not fast. There's another one what was faster. I thought, well, that's just a little bit faster. So I asked Eric. I said, Eric, can you film Bill and I? We're going to jump in and just follow us along. He said, sure.
It went
Well,
like,
Eric's got my phone, and we
oh.
we we jump in the water. And as soon as we jump in, the second we jump in, boom, we're gone. And I'm editing the video, and I hear Eric breathing. There they go. He's running.
I got lost almost immediately. I got lost quick.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Well, Eric, I'm going to go ahead. Let's go ahead and close up here. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to be respectful of your time, and know we're going to have many, many more times to do stuff like this, as well as make more memories in Germany together. I'm looking forward to that. And right now, I'm going to give the floor to you to say the final last words. That sounds morbid, but would you? I'm going to give the floor to you to say anything you want in closing. Then we'll close. The floor is yours, sir.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having me here on this podcast. As always, always good to talk with you. And see you
Likewise.
soon in Helen, Georgia. That'll be a great time. For anybody watching this podcast, I'd like to say, check out my channel, Travel Adventures with Eric B. As I said earlier, I love travel, all different types of travel. So see a little bit of everything on this channel. There'll be some more international this year. There'll be a lot of Louisiana travel. Got a trip coming up to Seattle. Got a little trip to Vegas. A little bit of everything. So also, like I said, Helen, Georgia, and be some cruising later on in the year. So definitely check it out. Got a lot of good stuff, a lot planned. Um, I enjoy doing my vlogs. I enjoy helping people out with lists and doing things to help people travel efficiently, helping myself as well because as you learn and you share, feedback's the key, and that's
That's
what it's
right.
all about. Because
Absolutely.
just like everyone else, you travel, you learn, you make mistakes, you grow from them. I think that's what we all do here. All of us that travel, we make a lot of mistakes and we learn from them. What we learn, we like to share with other people. So,
Very profound, sir. Very profound. Well, thank you, sir, for being here. And I'd like to close out with saying, please, please do yourself a favor. All right. For any of your travel needs, check out Eric B. with Travel Adventures with Eric B. He is first of all, he's a class act, top to bottom, and he's a lot of fun to hang with, and his videos are really, really good. It's well done, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate you, sir. All right, in closing, I'm gonna let Eric. We'll do it together. I want to do Eric's closing as we close out here. And Eric, I'll let you lead the way. You do the one, two, three, or whatever we need to do, and we'll go ahead and close.
all right, we'll close it. One, two, three. You already know. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you hit the like, subscribe button, the bell notification, so you can know when I have more videos coming out. And as always, remember, live today,
Okay,
grow
for
today.
today,
Tomorrow's never
or is
guaranteed.
never guaranteed. Peace.
Peace and travel.
Travel.
Lots and
Lots
lots
and
of
lots
travel.
of travel. Man, you're the best.
The more, the better.
There you go. All right, man. Doggers and shoes, and let's go traveling with Sir Eric D.
Yes,
Shoo,
sir,
shoo, shoo.
Bob.
Oh!